Welcome to the show, guys, and welcome to Pattaya, Thailand. Today you join us down here in the heart of Pattaya, and I've been joined by Rinus Veekay. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us down here in Pattaya. A bit hot outside, but of course you'd be used to that being inside a cockpit.
Yeah, for sure. It's always super warm with the suit and the helmet, so I'm kind of used to it.
Now, I did a little bit of reading before you actually joined us today, and I mean, you sort of started where most people sort of start their career. You started in go-karts.
Yeah, when I was 8 years old, I got a go-kart for my birthday because my dad was already a racing driver. And yeah, it started as a little bit of a fun thing, but it got very serious very fast.
Do you think, you know, when you say it started as a fun thing and it got serious very fast, was that because you was very good at it, or people seen the potential in you at that time?
Yeah, I started to get really good and first started on national level, got Dutch champion multiple times, and then went to international level through Europe and World Championships.
And that's in the karts, yeah?
That's in the go-karts,
so
yeah.
So like most guys I've sort of met around the world that start in the go-karts, I mean, they sort of progress from the go-karts and then they go up a level. I mean, what was your next level after the go-karts?
Car racing for sure, because that's where my future has to be. And I started in Europe with a few races, and then I did the MRF challenge in the Middle East, in Asia. And then I went car racing in America when I got scouted in the United States.
I mean, the United States, for people that are racing and of course scouting, I mean, you know, in America is a great place because, you know, you never know who's in the crowd. And I mean, when the scout sort of sees you and says, hey, you know, we think you're very good, I mean, where do they take you from there after that? What is the process?
Yeah, so I drove a go-kart race in Las Vegas, and there I got scouted when I drove, yeah, I think one of my best races ever in go-kart. So then I got a free test in the Mazda Road to Indy series in Texas. So my first time ever in a car in the United States, and I really loved it. And we made the step towards.
What about the step up though? I mean, you know, I mean, a lot of guys out there like me. I've been to go-kart tracks. We've been around in go-karts, fast go-karts. I mean, how is the feeling, you know, going from that go-kart and then suddenly getting into a race car?
It's a little bit different. It's all
and
a lot bigger. Yeah, it's a lot bigger, and yeah, it's just the way you sit. You're tight. You cannot move around because you're all in the seatbelts. But it's the same basic thing. So yeah, just the techniques are quite the same, just a little bit further.
At that time when you got into that car for the first time, I mean, you'll have to take me back to that car. I mean, was it like the cars today? I mean, an automatic start, you know, and most of it electronic, or was it the old sort of manual gears?
My first time was in a really old school car actually.
Yeah.
All manual, very small tube frame. So yeah, it was good to start with, but now it's all electronical and flat out shifting.
I can remember going to Donington in the UK and seeing Senna's car, which I actually went in, second it, yeah. And I couldn't believe how small it was inside, and of course they mould everything to you, and you've got like the little gear here, you know, and everything. I mean, it's amazing how you guys sort of control it.
Yeah, for sure, and I'm a little bit tall, I'm Dutch, so I must be tall. And so I got some struggles with the car sometimes, being very, very big and having small space, but yeah, it's manageable.
And what about the training side? Because you know, most athletes that sort of run or are on bikes or cars or anything, I mean, their daily regime, you know, of food, their fitness levels. I mean, what about you? Have you got a very high fitness level now?
Yeah, I'm training twice a day. Also here when I'm in Pattaya. I just train to even get better and better, and try to be better than the competition. And I got a trainer who measures all my food and everything. It really has a plan for me to be the fittest guy in the paddock.
I mean, you've got to be fit to be in the cars.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the level you're at now is where? Where are we at now?
I'm now in Indy Lights.
Which
so
is,
next,
for people out there?
That's IndyCar is the highest level
Yep.
in the United States, and this is just below it. So if I get champion this year, I'll for sure drive in IndyCar the year after.
And a lot of people always ask, and I've asked the same thing because I've done many TV interviews at racetracks before. What is your favourite track?
My favorite track, I think Road America. It's
Yeah.
a very old school track in the United States, and that's where I had my first win ever in car racing.
I mean, what about, let's just talk about your first win. I mean, you know, I've been at races where guys have been there, it's their first win, and they're jumping up and down, they're so ecstatic. Get the same feeling?
Yeah, for sure. Just had a really cool race, a lot of fighting, and then on the end I drove away just a little from the pack. And then, well, I've just been second and third and second, so all the time on the podium, but not on the top step. So when I finally won, I think I was not the only one super happy, but also my dad, who was jumping around and
pinching yourself, believing in yourself.
Oh yeah, well, it took
Great
some time
feeling.
to.
But I mean, it's not an easy. You know, I know from guys I've spoken to in the past, I know that it's not an easy road to get to that podium. You know,
No.
it's a long road, you know, starting from here and getting up to there. As they say, you start at the bottom of the hill and suddenly you're on top of the podium and
Yeah.
you've made it to the top of the hill. So it's a great feeling. What about the future for you now? I mean, I know that you've got, we'll speak about Buriram in a second, which is in January. But I mean, where do you see yourself going, or where would you like to go? What's your ultimate?
My goal for the
Yes.
for the coming years and
Yeah.
my dream
Yes.
is to drive in IndyCar, and for sure winning the Indy 500, one of the biggest races in car racing even.
Yeah, sure.
And just being super successful. And
I mean, I know that you've got some good family and friends around you
Yeah,
today. So,
yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Support, great.
great support. Yeah, family who is behind me, who suffers from my passion. Yeah.
Does it? I mean, can I ask you? Does the racing run in the family though?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My sister,
Okay.
she got a racing license even.
Wow. Okay.
And I was the cursist. I took the license.
But she's a good lady driver,
She's really good.
not the ones to
Yeah.
avoid when you're on the road.
So I don't want her to race, otherwise I get more competition. But my dad, I drove against my father even,
Yeah.
and
Did you win?
I was on number 1 and he was on number 2. So
So you didn't speak for a week.
no, that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just wind the clock forward a little bit. Buriram, of course, in January 2019, from the 11th to the 13th. I mean, what is that race?
Yeah, it's the Asian F3 Winter Series. So it's a Winter Series program which a lot of guys don't do nothing in the whole winter. I'm driving here in Asia, in Buriram, and also 2 races in Malaysia, in Sepang. Just to get more experience and to get to stay really sharp for the coming season.
I spoke to Nigel Mansell years and years ago at Donington, and he's always said to me, you never stop learning.
No, that's true.
He says you always think that you're the best, or you can be the best. He says, and even when you are the best, you never stop learning. True?
Yeah, that's true, because there's so many things that could happen in a race.
Yeah, sure.
It's almost infinite, so you just learn new things and learn new ways to react on things what happen in a race.
I think in like F1 now, the introduction of the halo on the car was a magical touch. As we've seen, you know, in the past, it's worked.
Even in the Asian F3 Winter Series, I drive with the Halo, first time ever. So I did a test last week in Malaysia, and it's just a little bit weird getting into the car, going through a bar actually.
Yeah, sure.
And but when you're driving, you don't see anything.
And what about the car that you're driving now? That's all electronic, is it?
It's all electronic.
Yeah.
It's the newest car actually you can drive in. So
Yeah.
it's
Tires by.
Tires by GT. It's
Okay.
Asian tire company, and they arrange all the
They
tires for the
arrange
whole
all the tires,
series.
which is a massive part in it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to roll VT, okay, show you some video on Rinus, and of course we'll be joining him in Buriram on the 11th to the 13th. All right, so join us then. But from Rinus and myself, thanks for joining us today
Yeah,
down here.
thank you very much.
It's been great, and watch out for this guy. He's going to be number 1. He's going to be on the podium for sure. We're going to be there. Thank you.
Thank you.